Welcome back for the second part of One Man's Faith. Again, my name is Neil Owen. Glad to have you with me. I don't know what's happening here with my voice. And I hate to try and clear it because of this microphone, but let's turn. We've been looking at Revelation. So let's go there. Let's go over to Revelation and let's look some more. Now, as you know, I'm not a normal revelationist, so to speak. I don't look at Revelations the way a lot of people look at it. It's a wonderful book, and as we've looked at in the past, it says that it is the revelation of Jesus Christ. It is not the revelation of the end, okay? It includes what's going to happen, but that's not the point of the book. The point of the book is not to show us how bad things are going to get and oh, how we're going to suffer and boy, will we make it to the end. No, not for those that believe in God, especially those that believe in God. And I want to look at that because it is the revelation of Jesus. And He is revealed in several ways in this book. Notice that it's not the revelation. It's not called Revelations as in many, but it's called Revelation because it is the revelation of Jesus. It's a prophetic book, and that means that there are many ways to look at what is written here. Many ways. Some of it is literal, some of it is allegorical, some of it is I hate the term parabolic, but it's written kind of in a parable. Some of it is. Some of it, and a lot of it has a deep hidden meaning. In other words, it means more. One instance is in I believe it's chapter 2, where he says, "Behold, I stand at the door and knock, and if any man hears my voice, I will come into him." And we always take that to mean, and we use this a lot as salvation. Behold, listen, God's standing at your heart and He's knocking. And that's not wrong. That's kind of the parabolic side of it. But there's also a deeper hidden meaning there. And that is this. The marriage covenant starts with the groom coming to the bride's house and knocking. You see, this book is about a marriage. And there's going to be a marriage at the end. And that's what we have to look forward to. If we're in Jesus, if we know Jesus, if we've said, Jesus, you are my Lord and Savior, we're going to be at that marriage. If you haven't, then you're not going to be. And where you're going to be, I don't want to be with you. I'm sorry. I don't want to be with you. And so I want to urge you, know Jesus. Come to know Him. Don't just say, oh yeah, I know of Him. No. You need to come to a point of knowing Him as your Lord and Savior. And that's as easy as spreading hot butter on a piece of bread. Probably easier. But that's what this book is about. It's not about terror and things like that coming. It's about a wedding. And we've been looking at that. And we've looked at the fact that the bride is the bride is us and or Israel. I think in my mind, there's going to be two weddings. There's going to be the bride, the church, and the groom, Jesus. But there's also the bride Israel and the groom God. Now, we don't see that here in Revelation because it's not the revelation of God, it's the revelation of Jesus. But you see, God has been betrothed to Israel, and we've got to keep that in mind. God is betrothed to Israel. And if you need to know where the scriptures are on that, I'll give them to you. Just give me a call at the office or send me an email. You can go to our website, www.nhfministries.org, and hit the contact button, and you can send me an email or send me a note. So it'll come to our website to me, and I'll be glad to address it. Or if you'll leave your email address, I'll send it back to you. But God is betrothed to Israel. All right? Just as Jesus is betrothed to us, to the body, to the bride. Okay? You got that? And this is the revelation not of God, but of Jesus. Okay? Jesus is special because he was as God and came to earth as us. You see, if it didn't matter about being as us, then why did he go through the total birth process and everything to be us? I don't want to really get into that, but I mean, here's something to think about. God could have sent him down, poof, you're here, do your thing. But he didn't, because Jesus had to be a man. And he gave up all of his royalty to be like us, because he wanted to be with us. And we'll look at that in the future, that dynamic of Jesus wanting to be with us and wanted to bring us to a point of redemption, so he could have relationship with us. We're not here just to worship. We're here to have a relationship. It's an important fact to understand, okay? Now, we're looking at Revelation. It is a prophecy. It's a book of prophecy. It is Hebraic. It is written in a Hebrew form, and that's why I mentioned those four ways of looking at it. That's the way Hebrew writing is. It is literal, it is allegorical, it is parabolic, and it has a deeper hidden meaning. Greek philosophy only sees two things, literal and allegorical, and either it is either one or it's the other. It's very seldom both. But that's not the way Revelation is. And so that's what we're looking at. And God even said, he said, blessed is he who reads and hears the words and heeds the things written in it. Okay? So he has given us some things to look at. Now, after chapter 1, we get into 7 letters written to 7 churches. Again, there are many ways to look at those 7 letters. There are people that say, yes, there's 7 church ages, and they want to look at 7,000-year periods of church age. And, there are others that say, yes, they're church ages, but, it's not quite. It's like in a 2,000-year period from the death of Jesus, on. And so only one of these letters would pertain to us. I want to say all of that's true, because remember, this is a Hebraic book, so there are many ways to look at these. And so we see he's talking to churches, but in all but one case it says, I have this against you. And then he goes on and he says, but he who overcomes. And if you don't overcome, then here's a consequence. So these 7 letters give us things for us to look at in our lives. And if we'll overcome them, then we have a blessing. If we don't overcome them, then we have a consequence. And that's what is talked about in these 7 letters. Now, in chapter 4, it says, after these things, and that is the letters to the churches, behold, a door was standing open in heaven, and the first voice that I heard was the sound of a trumpet speaking to me. And it said, come up here, and I will show you what must take place And it says, after these things. Interesting. It takes place after these things. After what things? The 7 letters. That's one way to look at it. The after these things could be what John saw in heaven when he was first taken up into heaven for this vision. So you see, there are many different ways we can look at this book because it's prophetic. It's not written as a normal letter like Paul wrote. This is John writing. Okay? So it's written differently because it's a prophecy. If you go over and look at any of the prophetic books from Isaiah to Malachi, you'll understand this is written the same way. It's written literally to people, but it's written in an allegorical way. And, you know, Ezekiel saw a being, saw 4 beings. And so it's, you know, we'll look at that, okay? But first, let's take a break, and we'll be right back.